actually. Yes.
Oh no!
Yes.
Oh man, Mike.
Mike, you just
Alright,
violated
well,
the
okay,
very
so
privacy.
what's going on here? The show is
We're about to do the Nook
okay.
on the Voluntary Virtues Network.
All right.
Check it out. I'm obviously here today with Mike.
You can't see that. That's great.
You turn it around.
I could. I
Yeah,
could
you
switch the
could.
camera around, but nobody needs to see this. So
Especially that up close.
yeah, no. It's good 90 degrees all day today, guys. Kind of not feeling close-ups.
And then John is here with us.
John's got close-up. Hey, John.
Christy. And Cora.
Now make sure you didn't get Angie in there.
I did get Angie. I'm sorry, Angie. Okay.
Name and visual.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, man. Well,
Our topic tonight is
all right. The topic for tonight is...
Is etiquette and
Privacy or therefore lack of.
well, etiquette on these
Privacy,
new
etiquette?
yeah, privacy and etiquette on new lives and videos.
Because I have a camera recording a camera.
Right.
That's recording a camera. They're putting the fire and everybody here. Okay, so where does line with privacy drawn?
What's privacy?
Well, I think it's more.
Okay, John wants to know what privacy is first.
Cora, what do you think privacy is?
This is a perfect answer for a little girl.
I honestly think privacy is.
So you see your best, don't worry about it.
Yeah, no pressure.
I think it's just. I think it's a thing where you have your own personal secrets or your personal stuff as a thing, and other people probably shouldn't invade it.
Good job.
Yeah, that's a very good job.
I agree. That's a very good
Yeah.
definition for privacy.
Yeah. And so when you start a live video on Facebook without telling people, you kind of invade their space and you just do. It's yeah.
Do you think
It's kind of weird.
do you think privacy's a outdated concept, or that everyone should be able to have privacy, or it's not
I think
necessary
everybody should have privacy.
where they want it?
What about in public settings? And what is a public setting?
Yeah, what is
Yeah.
a public setting?
What the fuck is public?
But yeah, so we were live and now we're not. Yeah, this is apparently going to happen
Okay.
because connection is really weak, is what it says.
Well, you're
Um,
choosing the setting that you're in.
Oh wait, no,
No, we're
wait.
back.
No.
Even if you're in a public setting, I think everybody tries to be cognizant of others around them and their activities and not stare or, give attention to what's going on with them. Just kind of respecting their space and yours and just keep walking on.
And isn't it choice?
But I don't
might
think a lot
choose
of
to be in
people
front
do
of
do
you,
that.
but I might not choose to be in front of 200 people.
Well, I think that's the
2,000
thing. It's
people.
like how
I
many
don't have
people?
a
How many
choice
people are watching this that we don't know right now?
There's one person watching this.
Hi, one person.
Yeah, there's one. There's one human being. I'm assuming. Could be.
That's probably you.
Could not be a human being, but.
But it's I mean
The
we
NSA.
videotape this
Uh-huh.
for the show.
Right.
You can look at it. You can edit it. There might be things on there that we might not want. This is out there. Live is out there.
Don't pick
Yeah.
your nose.
There's-
Got it.
yeah.
Well, and you might notice somebody holding a phone and decide not to get in the path of
Yeah,
the
but
phone.
just holding a
But-
phone is not.
But we have Google Glass too.
That's scary.
And
That's the same
that's
thing.
like constantly recording.
Yeah, it is.
Augmented reality straight to your
Yeah.
dome.
So what is the
Straight to the
etiquette?
NSA.
Yeah.
So what is
probably.
the etiquette of that? I mean, do we have to have? Okay, so what I was thinking, should we have like a little live flap on there? You know, like I'm doing
Like a
this
little red
now. I'm
light?
recording. You know, it's like
That would be, I think that would be something that would be really helpful, that, you know, on a phone or something like that, there'd just be like red light that came on, like, yo,
Right.
you know, that you would know that that person was recording.
so. And even on Google Glass, you'd have like a little red light, which then you
Yeah,
would
I mean,
know.
I
at
think
least,
that, I mean-
you know, you would know.
Obviously, I don't think that should be like a law or something,
No,
but that
but
would be
it's- I
like
just-
nice for,
Yeah, just
Think about it though, when you're in a public setting, well, like you said, let's define public, but for example, you're at Disney World. How many pictures do you see from back in the day where photos have been captured of families and there are
Yeah,
tons of people in the
exactly.
background who have just going about their day enjoying Disney and didn't realize they were being captured?
You're
So
right. You're right.
do you just, is it just accepted, you're there and you just know it's going to
I
happen?
think
you
it's
may
the
get
reach
captured?
that Facebook and other live things can have. That, I mean, I guess Disney could put that picture
Well,
up
all
on
your
their
information
marketing
is
or
online
something.
anyway.
Well, what's
Yeah,
the
but
difference
I
really
mean-
between live and then it's live immediately, but then it's obviously recorded for viewing later? So is there really a difference between the live and the non-live? There's one viewer. What
Well,
if there are no viewers?
For this, you can't edit it, so you can't look at it and then
True,
edit it.
true.
It's just, it's out there. Yeah.
Sure.
But I think viewing whether it's live or not live, I think that's an invasion of privacy if I didn't agree to it.
Exactly.
I didn't have a choice. I choose to sit here in front of 6 people, not
That's
in
what
front
I'm
of
saying.
2,000.
Well, there's cameras all over the place that we
True.
we are choosing by default because we're walking in places.
But that
It could be
doesn't-
private too. Could be,
I don't
doesn't have to
think it
be
should-
public.
Even then, I don't think it should be acceptable though, just because it occurs doesn't mean it's
Right, and in
acceptable.
those, generally, those are accessible by the public. You know, it's usually the companies or,
Like security cameras.
yeah, security cameras,
So
you
we
know.
just need a recorder detection chip.
There you
inserted,
go,
you know,
yeah.
whenever it senses that you're being recorded, you know, whether it be a red light,
There you
stop
go, there's a
light camera.
product idea.
It vibrates like a Motorola, you're just like, ow!
Oh,
It's a camera on the red light, Jesus!
My spidey sense is tingling.
All right. Just completely debilitated. Ow! It's like it's vibrating in my head. It's because it is.
It rings in your ear and
Right,
you're always
yes, right.
ringing out and
Yeah.
you're like tinnitus. H positive, guys.
So I think your position with this discussion, Christy, my understanding is your stance is video being recorded live while you're in the presence of it and not being given appropriate notice.
Yeah.
So that you either can remove
Yes,
yourself from the
right.
situation.
If somebody says I'm gonna go live, I'm like, and I don't want to, I could walk away. You know, yeah. It's more the etiquette of it. It's
Well, in a recent example, though, you had been on the camera.
I did, but I assumed. Okay, this was my assumption that you would let us know when it was going live.
And I assumed you just wanted me to turn it on.
Well,
And you know, normally I would say, hey, I'm going live now, but we were like in the middle of
Right.
the discussion, and I really wanted to capture the yeah
The rawness of
yes.
it all.
the conversation that was
Well,
going
you
on.
got raw, right?
The gritty
Clear-
realism. Well, there's another term.
Communication.
yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's the breakdown.
Which was?
Be more clear in your
Yeah,
communication.
clear in communication. And yeah, I think there is an announcement that, in my book, if I was doing it, I would let people know I'm going live. I'm going live. You have a choice now. You can
See,
go-
I see it almost as an opposite situation. When we're recording the show, for instance, we edit it afterwards and everything, so everybody needs to be ready and on point to start discussing. And so we have very clear communication when we're stopping and starting. When you're going live, it's usually something on the fly. And then on top of that, I think anytime you're in a public setting, you're subject to
Being
recordings,
recorded.
especially in this day and age. That
So do I have to just always be okay with being recorded? I mean, is that just something that everyone?
I think
Because
that's
of that,
a
it's
reality of our modern society.
I would
Yeah.
agree with you.
So-
I
so-
think even more in that instant, you should be even more clear with the understanding that I'm getting ready to start filming live. Or if you're in a situation where you're videoing a police officer pulling somebody over, you know, scream out, I'm going live, you don't want to be on camera, back off. I mean, it's etiquette when it comes down to it.
Yeah.
And I think
See, I think the exact opposite,
But you're violating
especially
people's
especially
privacy.
in the situation with the cops.
But
because
what is more important? You videoing the cops or violating somebody's privacy? Really, what's more important?
what actually is being violated?
Somebody's on camera and they don't want to be. Maybe something happens and they're.
But how is that harming them in any way?
It probably could. What if they're used as a witness and they want nothing to do with the whole situation? You're now pulling them into that because they're there. I don't know. I mean, we
Well,
could go
People
around
have
and
a
around.
right to not be a witness.
You and I both know that isn't always the way it works out.
So Cora, I think you might be able to weigh in on this, right? Do you remember a circumstance where someone was using their cell phone to record people and then post it on, like, and I don't want to know the words, the media, or someone was uploading, playing jokes on people? Do you remember that? No? At Amphi Camp? The discussion was going on and do you remember that now?
Yeah.
Or can you tell me more about that?
I don't remember that clearly, but I remember
They were playing jokes on people, not knowing they're being on camera and loading it up.
and they
Posting
should have
on,
the
like, YouTube.
privacy, and if they don't want to be on camera, they shouldn't be on camera if they don't want to. And especially if they don't know that they're on camera and getting recorded.
Do you remember where they were loading that up to? Do you remember the person who was filming and playing the jokes? Do you remember what they said about how they felt about if someone did it to them? Yeah,
I don't remember that clear,
yeah. This was a.
but I sort of remember it.
Yeah, they basically said they didn't care, right? They didn't.
Oh yeah.
They didn't care. You could be recorded doing anything, and they just wouldn't care if they were recorded. And this is important, I think, because it's someone very young, and they're coming up in this era, this age, and how is it shaping their perception or their value system
Because they
relative
see other people
to
doing
privacy?
it, and then they just intercept it, and then they themselves they do it.
I think you get a generation that just starts accepting things because it's commonplace.
Right. Yeah.
I had someone I've worked with before, mid-20s or so, and I mean, I know, we'll look through your emails, I know that. I know that they scour it and do it. But it hit me like a ton of bricks one time when right after I closed an email, I got advertisements on a subject that was in the email, not in the subject line. Like I said, I'm not naive, I know it happens, but it really pissed me off. And the young kid was like, oh, well, everybody has your information anyway, so what? I mean, it's like, well, it's out there anyway. Just like, oh, people are filming you everywhere, so it doesn't matter.
I
You
think-
got to get used to
I
it.
think
And I'm
that's
like,
a little
no,
different
I
though,
don't think.
because that's you have an expectation of privacy in that situation.
Well, it depends on your expectation, though. I don't expect to be filmed by other people and then broadcast somewhere else. That's my expectation. you know?
I think that's a reality though, that cameras are everywhere.
Right, like they might be like in a dressing room and I know that it's there, or in a bank, they're looking at things there. I'm not expecting it to be publicly
They have them in
broadcasted
dressing
all
rooms?
over the place. Sometimes, well, they have people that watch.
Oh, like
Yeah.
people put
But
cameras.
but there's a difference between surveillance, and I'm not saying that I think that's great either. I'm not saying that. But being on a surveillance camera and then having someone that's filming that's going to broadcast it deliberately to a broad group of people. I don't know, to me, there's a difference there.
See, maybe it's
Not that I like the other one either, I'm not saying that. But I mean, I know that exists, I know that, say, I walk in a bank and I know what's
You
going to
can't
happen.
control
Ultimately, I think it's kind of hard for the younger ones who maybe aren't either savvy or have the resources to do so, but like many things, it's ultimately the responsibility of the individual. And like if you're not, don't want to be recorded, don't want general access to your information. I think that's what's most important is the information and what other people can do with that information, right? In your name or soil your name or whatever the case may be.
Manipulated.
Right. And it's ultimately the responsibility of the individual to protect that information. And you can't look externally and have any expectation of someone else to safeguard your information. So like passwords and all that other stuff that we know is ours. But,
Carrier pigeons with false documents, yeah.
Well, I remember the founding fathers used to encrypt their mail because they just assumed that people were reading it.
Yeah.
So we should assume that we're being watched all the
Yeah.
time? It's just,
at
And-
this
and,
day and age, honestly,
I guess so. I mean,
you know,
so I just, yeah.
There's a difference between
Yeah.
assuming and accepting it as,
Right.
do you know what I mean? Like, I know things are
Yeah.
happening,
Right.
but that doesn't mean I want to accept it as.
I mean, how many have seen a Google car or?
I've not seen any of
I've
those.
seen,
I've
yes,
seen
I've
them
seen them
numerous
twice,
times.
yeah.
Oh, really?
Numerous
Wow.
times, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely, yeah. I've seen them numerous times.
There'll be
And
like several of them,
my
like really
brother's-
close together on the
Yeah.
freeway.
Oh,
My
really?
brother, if you go look up his address, and you see his daughter playing in the front yard, right? So I mean, it's like, ultimately, what can you do with that information, right? So that's what I'm saying. It's like you're going to get caught, or you're going to be seen, you're going to get recorded. It's what you're doing, what information is being captured in that moment that's important. You know what I mean? And if it's critical data that you don't want public, then ultimately it's the responsibility of the individual to either adjust their behavior or take measures to keep that information.
It's already out there. Live is already out there. You have no recourse on live.
What's the mindset? You don't do anything wrong, you have nothing to worry about.
Yeah, but
Exactly.
it's
Too much
it's
acceptance.
like a violation when you get robbed. It's like it's just a visceral violation. Yeah.
And
Do you want me to turn
That's
the
what
camera
I-
off, Christy?
What?
Do you want me to turn the camera off, Christy?
No, because I approve this. This was
Okay,
something that we all
alright,
agreed to.
alright. Just make sure
The
you didn't change your mind.
violation was that it wasn't presented as a start. We're doing
Consensual.
this now. Yeah,
Right.
we're doing this now. It wasn't.
Okay, alright. Just wanted to make sure.
Yeah, no. I would.
Now that you're halfway through recording.
Right. Now that it's been live and
we are over.
yeah. So
What do you have something to say?
I forgive
Tell me
you,
what you're thinking,
Steve.
Missy. I want to know what you think.
Just.
Are you okay with telling us what you think?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just take a moment to look around, and you'll see all of the cameras staring at you and all the other people. And take another moment, and when you're filming somebody else that don't know you're filming, then take a moment and think, what if they don't want to do this? Then and
So
think.
put yourself in their shoes.
Right. Think somebody else was filming you and you didn't want them to film you, but you didn't even know.
Yeah,
And just to take a moment to think of that.
and that really comes down to etiquette. It comes down to etiquette. What do I want to do that I would want somebody, the golden rule, somebody else to do to me, and that hopefully would spread,
Yeah, I mean, it's, kind of like when we did here, like we all agreed to it ahead of time, so.
Yeah.
you know.
So, yeah. What?
Well, not we all, the people who are not on camera did not agree to it, so, so there's an
Oh,
example.
I'm sure you got me in there. We'll have words later.
I actually, no, the light
Oh, I
actually,
saw that thing, just I hope so.
the light
I hope so
prevents
for
like
your
a,
sake.
an aura of like nothing over here, strangely.
You know, like the difference between an angel's halo and 6 inches is a noose.
That's a good
That's
one.
good,
I heard
that's
that.
good.
I never heard that either.
I've never heard it either, but I laughed.
Yeah.
It was good.
So, I don't know.
Buttons.
There's a product there for somebody to come up with to detect video on our.
I guess they're gonna put that on government buildings or something. That
What?
like you couldn't record. You won't be able to record in certain government buildings. You won't be able to turn on the camera.
Well, think about it. You go to a music concert, and they are saying no recording, no cameras. think
And
about
then
how
everybody has their camera out recording.
right, but how limited that is. But you can just walk down the street in your own neighborhood, and the government's watching you. I mean, think about that. Why is it specialized to certain arenas or environments? How can they do that? They're probably filming you while you're watching, but
Some satellite up there.
for copyright, all of a sudden it's important because we're violating IP. As soon as it comes to your personal rights, it's just out the window. Think about that.
Has the Georgia Wall special gone over yet? Did I miss it?
For what?
No, we got started early today. Never mind. Yeah, it usually flows over later.
No, it usually flies over around 9.
Oh, wait.
Kind of,
I don't remember seeing it, but that doesn't mean it's gonna fly
kind of
over.
rough. I just heard that Cameron. I didn't see it. I'd like to dig deeper. Maybe y'all have heard about it, but Cameron over in England, UK, tried to push something through saying that like 9/11 denial and there's other things in there is extremist.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, his extremist thought and.
I remember CCTV cameras in England before 9/11.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
they got
everywhere
that.
I went, there was somebody watching me, especially in town, on the highways. Yeah.
I guess that might be considered public. You kind of expect that. Not to be publicized, but okay,
That's
you're
how
being
they capture all these terrorists. It's a good thing.
right.
Yeah, all those terrorists that get through all that, all those layers of security,
I just think live is just a little bit different. It's more of a Google Glass Live. All those are kind of, if you don't tell people, it's just a little bit of a violation.
Like at your own house, like in your own neighborhood, you barely even have your own privacy because of all the cameras on the streets and on the streets and in your neighborhood.
I hear you. You feel as if that there is at least some environment where you can feel safe and not be
And
watched.
not be
Yeah.
watched.
And that would be
yeah.
home in your neighborhood, most definitely.
Yeah.
You feel
Yeah.
like the one place you could actually not be recorded and not
I
be
agree.
filmed would be your home
Right.
and your
Especially a
neighborhood.
vacuum, huh?
Yeah, especially.
Just saying.
Or your
That bathtub is a private time for us.
That's important. And I mean, this thought popped in my head, and then we could get used to it, and then see humanity as a different thing too. Sans the etiquette, we could start seeing people differently.
well, oh wait, there it is, Georgia
There
Wall
it
special.
is.
Yeah, just a little bit
Right
late,
on
but there it is.
time.
So we've all heard of like surveillance, right? Where they're watching, and somebody's on the other side of the camera watching what you're doing. Well, so I think it's odd, but there's a group of people, and what it's called surveillance, I think is how you pronounce it, something like that.
Like pseudo?
Yeah, exactly. It's like PS something, But the thing is that I saw watched a video that the guy did. What that is it's the people who like that, they simply have a camera on them all the time, 24 hours a day. And so, and so this one guy, he wears it on a necklace around his neck. And so he did it like fast motion thing. But it's a long video of him going about his day, like driving, like going to pick up coffee, playing
In
with
the
his
bathroom?
granddaughter or
Does he-
something. Yeah, but because it's on his chest, it's not exactly
Limited viewing.
Right.
Yeah. If that if that was.
Well, it
Sites
doesn't
where you
even
can go
view
watch
him if
people all
you use
day.
his activities.
Yeah, so that's the thing is that
Right.
all his family is I guess they've just gotten used to it. Okay, Grandpa always has a camera on all the time.
Oh,
That's
so
all
that's right,
too.
because they would be viewing not him, but everybody else.
So
that
there's
he's
no
okay.
assumption.
Right.
of privacy.
When you're around him.
Yeah.
Right.
Get your
So then
real
you just
money.
get used to it. So I guess,
I mean, I don't know how many people do
That's
that,
what
but
it's
apparently
about.
it's a certain group of people that's their thing. They just think that's what they do.
but
They're
should I have
fascinated.
that feeling for everyone, having the anticipation that everyone could have a Google Glass on them that I can't see, or, have their camera up and they're doing Facebook Live, or, I guess it's just something I have to think about.
You could also, there is not a very good one, but an argument to say that I'm recording everything I see right now, and I will always remember it for as long as my memory is good, I guess, So that's something that's an argument I've heard used before. Is well, aren't you just recording it
with
You
the
are, but
rain.
you're flawed,
Black
and
Mirror,
your
wasn't it Black Mirror,
remembrance
Dark Mirror?
of it is not.
Oh
Black
yeah,
Mirror.
yeah, that one episode
Black
of
Mirror.
the Black Mirror
Oh,
with the weird eyeball recording thing. Yeah, that was a good show. That's something else.
Oh, I
I'll
didn't
put
see
that
that
on the
I
list,
think
Chrissy.
I did think I did see it.
Black
Is there
Mirror?
another episode of
I've
it?
only seen the first
A new
3,
one?
I think.
Yeah, I saw the first 3. That's
Yeah, I ended up watching all of them. It was
That's
really,
episode
it was
number
really
Was
good.
it? Oh, I don't
Yeah,
remember.
they're all really good.
Actually, it was good.
Oh, when they could see and they went back in time and did replay of what they.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, you're right. I forgot that. Yeah, if you can get through the first one,
I've seen one.
Yeah, the first one's a little rough. Yeah,
a little rough.
a little rough.
It's
Yeah.
like the story of the fire. Okay,
Yeah.
you got through that one. You're still watching. Okay.
My party's
I'll have
paper
to watch
And I
it
still
again.
watched.
Huh?
That portion where they're just filming like the city, and it's like dead silent. You know.
She's walking the bridge, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's aware that she's still. It just shows you how predominant the media is with population and getting attention. So, but anyway.
And then the one that was similar to that was that I think it was the last episode, the Waldo moment. That had a lot involving with like media. That episode was like really intensive when it comes to media narrative and all that
I
sort of
didn't
stuff.
see that one yet again.
That was really, really good. Yeah, you'll like that one, John.
So what's the solution? Do individuals start becoming like walking bulletins, like you list everything that you object to? Do not film me. No, I do not believe in this. I mean, just a whole T-shirt with all of your beliefs and morals and
Before I have a conversation with you, can you please
Yeah.
sign this waiver?
yeah.
Yeah.
I really think that it's up to the individual, like John was saying. Like, our friend, Princess Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm. We have a friend, Princess
Yes,
Bitcoin.
yes. And I'm
Um,
conscious of not
Right.
having that princess.
And he specific he requests of people that
Exactly.
they don't record.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's a safe assumption that it's safe to assume that in this day and era that you're going to be recorded, that you have the potential when you are in outside of your controlled environment that you have control over, that you're going to be recorded in some way.
Yeah, and that, and I will start to be more conscious of that. I think I can be also have certain etiquette when I'm doing it. I can let people know, just 'cause.
And just because you're aware that it's going to occur doesn't mean that you have to be accepting of it.
True. No,
Just like I
that-
said, going through the
yeah.
email, I'm not naive. I know it occurs. That doesn't mean I accept it, and I think it's good.
If you had Start Mail, it wouldn't happen.
Start now?
Yeah. They have encrypted email.
At least that's but the thing is, at least it's sort of like, you know, when a mechanic works on your car and you find out they didn't actually remove and replace those parts, you have recourse, right? So they're providing a service and saying that's what it is, and whenever you find out that they're not providing a service that say they are, hopefully, you know, at least you have a means
Right.
to redress your grievances.
Start Mail is by the same people who do Start Page, by the way, who do a Google like search engine without recording your searches.
It's just
Unlike Google, who records everything.
Everything.
Well,
Start is just like a main line to DARPA, essentially.
Just bypasses that whole.
Especially because all the
that
people
whole
who don't
thing.
want to be on it are on Start, you know. It would be a great one to market. Yeah.
Yeah, ooh, now we
Yeah,
got
I know, it's exactly, woo.
So
Yeah.
Who
this,
doesn't
Just
want
caught
to be
them in
watched?
the net.
That's who we're watching.
yeah, who has a problem being watched? Perhaps we'll find out what their phone
Right.
records are. You know? They seem to want to. So this whole time this has kind of been going in and out, just so everybody knows. So
We kind of
there's,
figured
like,
that.
Yeah, there's been little conversations that have been not going, and then going, and not going again.
So they're having an interesting.
And to be fair, I did turn the camera around for a little bit just so I couldn't be all like, "Hey, look, I recorded everybody, but not myself."
Maybe they need
So everybody gets to see that nice sheen on my
very
face right now.
good.
Maybe we need a robot in our computers that does what all the normal people do, like what is 90, you know.
Like an AI?
Yeah,
Like
right.
AI.
And they just go and visit all the sites that like, you know, like sports and shopping sites, all like around the clock. So it looks like, well, that person's offline. They're no threat. You know, it's like they're not.
I really like that idea.
I like that idea,
you just
yeah.
kinda
I
like
don't
it.
get
Yeah.
that. Explain,
Yeah.
explain. What you're.
No, you have a randomized searcher so that so it looks like you're searching all the regular sites that normal people search,
Right.
so that it doesn't look like you are.
Unplugging.
Yeah. It doesn't
So
look
it
like
looks like you're
you're
active
free.
when you're really not.
Okay.
So you don't look at.
What would
so
they
you don't
do?
look like a threat.
A threat to who?
The government, the system, yeah.
The man.
Okay.
Yeah, that's I like that idea. That's where I think we're on to something there.
Now here's a question: if that AI became sentient,
Yes,
Mm.
this is the ultimate question. There's always the question.
would it be able to make porn, or would that be violating its privacy?
That would probably be part of the search anonymizer thing. I think would definitely be key. Be like, well, this person
Well,
is apparently
privacy
perfectly
would
like.
it violate?
Now I'm assuming that it's like downloaded into like an Android figure or something.
Right. And could you, if you had the possibility, got it.
Things
Okay, all right.
that make you go.
Things that make you go,
Yeah.